East of Melbourne, among the green grass and fresh air of Gippsland, single mum and public servant Tara Dennison visits the cows at lunch. It's not a conventional workplace, is it?
It definitely is not a conventional workplace, but I think it's a great workplace.
This is one of her approved workplaces under a hybrid work plan. She works at least 3 days here and up to 2 days, an hour and a half drive away in Box Hill.
It's not about being home so I can put the load of washing on and things like that, or go and mow the lawn in my lunch break. It's that focus time for me, and knowing that if I'm showing up for my family, I'm showing up as a better version at work as well.
The debate around where workers are most productive was thrust back in the headlines when New South Wales Premier Chris Minns issued a memo to the state's public service earlier this month, directing them to work principally from the office.
There is a drop in productivity, there is a drop in mentorship, there is a less of a sense of joint mission. This is about building up a culture in the public service.
The Victorian government put that same memo out. How would that make you feel?
It would be a struggle because you'd have to flip everything that you've been doing and respond. And that would mean, giving up some of the personal commitments and family commitments.
Chris Minns said overseas studies back up his claims that fully remote workers are less productive at home. 730 spoke to authors of 2 studies referenced by the Premier's office.
I'd make a distinction between people who work fully remote, where there's usually some loss in productivity, but among hybrid workers, maybe close to a wash or slightly positive effects of hybrid work on productivity.
We were able to compare employees that have kids at home compared to employees that did not have kids at home. And while we see that employees who don't have kids at home, for them already the switch to work from home leads to a drop in productivity, that drop is even steeper for employees with kids.
The University of Essex study analysed 10,000 IT professionals at an Indian tech company, looking at each worker's output in 2018 from the office and in 2020 when all staff went fully remote. On average, workers increased their working hours at home while also recording a decline in output, meaning a drop of between 8 to 19% in productivity across the workforce.
So it is concerning that work from home can possibly lead to this drop in productivity. And so, yes, I think that drop is relevant for the public sector in Australia.
The New South Wales Public Service is pretty close to the largest employer in Australia. Lots and lots of office workers. A state premier is going to recognise the value of the centre of their city, the CBDs that need a boost. There are indeed strong arguments for more people coming back into the office more regularly.
Victoria's Premier shows no sign of taking her northern neighbours' lead. Under Melbourne's skyscrapers in Equitable Place, cafes are vying for a slice of the white-collar dollar.
Right now, I would say Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays are very busy days, and Mondays and Fridays are a bit quieter.
Elif and Cam opened their cafe 10 months ago and are noticing a steady increase in foot traffic.
We have some customers who said recently their office started to be more full and they are really noticing this. They've been mentioning how it's becoming a bit more busier.
Busy regulars like Lance and Ross, both are hybrid IT workers who do their best work in the city.
I don't mind either way, to be honest. As I said, I find myself more productive in the office.
Most productive in the office, 100%. I just like being around work colleagues, coming into the city for the buzz as well.
But above the laneways are empty offices, a byproduct of the pandemic's remote working revolution. Office vacancy rates have hit historic highs, 18% in Melbourne, 11.6% in Sydney, and in Parramatta, 19.4%.
Rents have gone up, house prices have gone up, at least in part, because we want our houses to do more than they used to do. We want that bit of space where somebody can work from home, whether that's all the time or some of the time.
You can get that rest and then you aren't fatigued, you're working more effectively, you can be more efficient, so you can actually stay focused for longer.
At tech company Finder, there are no corner offices and the productivity is written on the walls.
We really pride ourselves on having a place that people want to come, and also the flexibility to not have to come every single day.
The company is encouraging, not mandating, its 76 Sydney workers to come back in.
This is a modern office with all the trimmings. The kitchen is fully stocked with confectionery, snacks, drinks, and lunches on the company every day. These are perks 5 days a week, but still, the workers only have to be in here for 3 days. Are these the carrots to lure your workers into the office?
Well, you know, I won't sit here and tell you that there's ping pong being played 5 days a week, but it does make for fun on a Friday afternoon.
But research is showing it'll take more than ping pong to bring workers back into the office. The latest ABS labour force survey showed 37% of Australians regularly work from home. Professor Ray Cooper from the University of Sydney says her research is pointing to a future with flexibility.
It's expensive to go to work 5 days a week. It's not just the commute. It's also it's the lunch, it's the outfit that you're wearing to work, and it's all of that is actually expensive.
In 2023, Professor Cooper's study of 2,000 Australians aged under 40 revealed over 70% are looking to reduce the commute and work remotely 2 or 3 days a week. And on the New South Wales Premier's edict earlier this month,
I think it's a little bit out of step with what some other governments are saying at the moment, particularly governments who all have their eye on the prize of boosting labour force participation for women.
We may not see quite as many people working from home as we saw at the peaks of COVID lockdowns, but this is a game changer in Australia and around the world, and the potential benefits, if it can be done right, are magnificent.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. Lemons from Gippsland.
Thank you.
back in Melbourne, Tara arrives at the office in Box Hill. There's no free lunch or sparkling water on tap. She feels her flexible workplace offers much more.
Hi. Hi. You can't put a price on having that quality time with your family, with your community, and it's essential, I think, for that work-life balance.